Have you ever felt like your money just doesn't go as far as it used to? That trip to the grocery store costs a little more each week. The gas pump numbers spin faster than ever, and saving for that big purchase feels like hitting a moving target. You're not imagining things. This feeling is a real phenomenon called inflation, and right now, it's a hot topic all over the world. But what exactly is it, and should you be worried about an impending global inflation crisis? Let's break it down in a way that actually makes sense. So what is inflation? Imagine a giant pizza. Last year, your $10 could buy you the whole pizza. This year, because the cost of flour, cheese, and tomatoes went up, that same $10 only gets you 7 slices. The pizza didn't shrink, but the power of your money did. That's inflation in a nutshell. It's the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, the purchasing power of currency is falling. A little bit of inflation, say around 2%, is actually considered healthy for an economy. It encourages people to spend and invest rather than hoarding cash under the mattress, which keeps the economic engine running smoothly. But what we're seeing in many parts of the world today is something different. Prices are rising much faster than that comfortable 2% target. Why? Well, it's a perfect storm of factors. Think back to 2020. The world hit the pause button. Factories shut down, shipping routes were disrupted, and the global supply chain, the complex network that gets products from where they're made to your doorstep, got seriously tangled up. This created a massive shortage of all sorts of things, from computer chips for your car to the lumber needed to build a house. At the same time, to prevent economies from completely collapsing, governments and central banks around the world stepped in with massive support. They pumped trillions of dollars into the system through stimulus checks, business loans, and other programs. This was a necessary lifeline for many people and businesses, but it also meant there was suddenly a lot more money chasing after fewer available goods. And what happens when demand outstrips supply? You guessed it. Prices go up. It's basic economics. Add to that other global pressures. Geopolitical events can cause huge spikes in energy and food prices, which have a ripple effect on everything else. Think about it. It costs more to transport goods, it costs more to power factories, and it costs more to run the tractor that harvests our food. All these increased costs eventually get passed down to us, the consumers. So we have supply chain chaos, a flood of new money, and rising energy costs all hitting at once. It's no wonder we're feeling the pinch. So, is this a crisis? That word gets thrown around a lot. A crisis implies a situation that's spiraling out of control with no solution in sight. It's like trying to gently tap the brakes on a speeding car without slamming on them and sending everyone flying through the windshield. This brings us to the big question: is your money safe? When we talk about safety, we're really talking about two things. First, is the money in your bank account going to disappear? The answer to that is a resounding no, especially in developed economies with robust banking systems and deposit insurance. Your bank isn't going to just vanish with your savings. The real threat, the unsafe part, is the erosion of your money's purchasing power. The $100 sitting in your savings account today will buy you less in a year's time. This is the silent thief of inflation. It doesn't take the money out of your account, but it shrinks what that money can do for you. So, leaving large amounts of cash sitting idle for long periods is not a great strategy during high inflation. So what can an ordinary person do? Panicking is never the answer. Making rash financial decisions based on fear is almost always a bad idea. Instead, this is a time for smart, deliberate action. The first step is the least exciting but most important: budgeting. You need to know exactly where your money is going. Track your expenses for a month. You might be surprised at what you find. This allows you to see where you can cut back on non-essential spending to free up cash for the things that are getting more expensive, like food and gas. Next, focus on your savings. Having an emergency fund is non-negotiable. This is your safety net for unexpected expenses, like a car repair or a medical bill. Aim for 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in a high-yield savings account. While the interest won't completely beat inflation, it's much better than a standard account and keeps your money accessible. Now, let's talk about protecting your money from losing its value. This is where investing comes in. Now, a huge disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. You should always do your own research or consult with a qualified professional. However, historically, one of the most effective ways to outpace inflation over the long term has been investing in the stock market. When you buy stocks, you're buying a small piece of a real company. As that company grows and makes more profit, often by raising its prices to keep up with inflation, the value of your ownership stake can grow too. Of course, the stock market comes with risk and volatility. It goes up and down. That's why a long-term perspective is key. Trying to time the market is a fool's errand. A more sensible approach for many is diversification, spreading your investments across different types of assets, like stocks, bonds, and maybe even real estate. Index funds and ETFs are a popular way to achieve this diversification without having to pick individual stocks. They allow you to invest in a broad slice of the market, which helps to smooth out the bumps along the way. Another powerful strategy is to invest in yourself. What does that mean? It means increasing your own earning potential. Can you learn a new skill that's in high demand? Can you get a certification that would lead to a promotion at your job? Can you start a small side hustle? Increasing your income is one of the most direct ways to combat the rising cost of living. Your skills and your ability to earn money are your most valuable assets, and they are inflation-proof. Ultimately, while the headlines about a global inflation crisis can be scary, it's important to keep things in perspective. Economic cycles are normal. We've been through periods of high inflation before, and we've come out the other side. This isn't about being panicked. It's about being prepared. It's about taking control of your financial life, understanding the forces at play, and making informed decisions instead of emotional ones. It's about building a solid financial foundation through budgeting, saving, and smart, long-term investing. Your money isn't going to vanish, but its power will diminish if you do nothing. By being proactive, you can protect your financial future and navigate these uncertain economic waters with confidence. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this explanation was helpful and gave you a clearer picture of what's going on. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Stay smart, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.